All right, hello again. This is part 2 of the Accuplacer sample questions. And this section, it is the quantitative reasoning, algebra, and statistics. So I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible without making this uncomprehensible so that you can have a little bit of study material for that TSI that you are going to take soon. All right, so which of the following, number one, it says, which of the following expressions is 5 times as much as? So remember, between as, you really don't need that. The main thing here is this word right here, of, that's your parentheses. Of, whenever you see that word, is your parentheses, and then you have R and S. R and S. And that's sum, so you're going to put plus there. R and S. And it's 5 times R and S. So actually the 5 can be on the front, or in this case, it is actually in the end of it, which is fine as long as it is in parentheses. And that's going to be that one. Number 2, it says, what is the solution to the equation? And I see that some of my students do not like working with fractions at all. So I'm going to multiply all of this times a common denominator here, 2, 2, 4. So I'm going to multiply everything by 4. So this is 4 times 1 over 2. 4 times 1 over 2 is 2x. 4 times 3 over 2. 4 times 3 is 12. Divided by 2 is 6. So that's 6. Parentheses, x plus 1 minus 4 times 1 over 4. 4 times 1 over 4 is 1. 4 times 1 is 4, divided by 4 is 1. And lastly, 4 times 5.
Ms. Harvey, please dial extension 7212. Ms. Harvey, please dial.
And I am sorry for that. I am actually in campus, so you're going to hear some announcements there. So 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. From here is a regular equation. Distribute 6x plus 6 plus 2x. That is 8x plus 6. Don't forget you have a minus 1 here, so it's actually 8x plus 5 equals to 20. Subtract the 5. 20 minus 5, that's 15. And lastly, divide by 8. So 15 over 8 is going to be your answer. 15 over 8, which is C. Number 3. Number 3 says, what is the number of grams in kilograms? Now look at this thing right here. It's 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. So there's a lot more grams than kilograms. So automatically get rid of the number of 1, because there's going to be a lot more grams than kilograms. And then all you're going to do is you're going to say 500 times 1,000. So you have 5 times 1, that's 5. And then add all your zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is going to be your answer, letter D. Little little tip there. Count your zeros when all you have is zeros. Okay. Number 4. It says Robert sells 4 different flowers. The graph above shows the number of jars. Which flavor had the greatest increase? Increase means going up. This one went up. This one went up. This one went up, and this one went down. So that one is automatically out. From here, you can count from 10 to 17. And there you go, another interruption, guys. I'm super sorry. And then you have 25 and 30. And then you have 7 and 12. And the biggest one is going to be a blueberry. Blueberries are winner. You can kind of notice because this is bigger than all of them. This little section right here It's bigger than these sections just by looking at them. But we wanted to go through the numbers as well. All right, number 5. So we have xy plane, y equals mx plus b. B is your y-intercept. Y-axis is 0, 3. So B is automatically 3. So that one is out and that one is out. So now we're going to do our m, and our m is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And 5 minus 3, it's 2. 4 minus 0, that's 4. It gets a little tricky here. The best thing to do is find a number that they both divide into. Don't get confused with 4 divided by 2. So divide them by 2. This is a 1 and that is a 2. And that's how you're going to simplify it. 1 over 2. Let's focus this a little bit. And 1 over 2 is going to be this one. All right, number 6 says, and I kind of, when I go through a test, I go directly to the equation and then kind of read through it. It says amount of money, M is dollars, M is money. Paul earns can be represented by the equation where H is a number of hours. So if you think about it, 12.5, and this is a little thing I like to use to remember stuff like this. So this is my slope, and I like to use the word per there. And this is my y-intercept. This is an additional amount from the amount of hour per. So per hour. And then so it's $12.50 per hour plus $11. $11 is an additional amount. All right, so keep that in mind. Which of the following is best for interpretation of 11 in the equation? It says the amount of money in dollars Paul earns each hour, and that's this. $12.50 is each hour. It says, which of the following is the best interpretation of the number 11? And that's your additional. And the only one that I see that has an additional here. This one says each, that one's out. This one says after working each hours, this is a total. And actually the total is your money. So that one's out. The total amount in dollars Paul earns for 1 hour, no. For 1 hour, you would multiply times 1 and then add 11. So no. And then this is an additional amount. And if you think about it, that's what we had said. Every time you have something that is in y equals mx plus b form, this one is your per, your every, your each. This one is your additional amount, something extra. So keep that in mind. All right, number 7. This one, you have a country and an approximation in population. This is the largest countries in the union. Which of the following is a mean? Mean is average. The mean is average. Okay, so let's go ahead and add these. Add them. So this is 8. And this is 8 plus 1. Keep that in mind. I like to kind of break these down as 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. How many 8s do you have? You have 32 plus 1. That's 33. And then you have 6 plus 4, 10, plus 5, 15, plus 3 more, 18. And then this is 8 plus 6, 14, 15, plus 6 is 21, plus 4, that's 25, 26, 27, 20, 22, 31. You be very careful with these because you might make a mistake here. Remember, this is not a time test. Take your time in adding those correctly. You're dividing by the average. Remember, you add and divide by the number of numbers. Always think of it like that. Number of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The items. The number of items.
Mr. Arnett, can you come to the front desk? Mr.
Interruptions are crazy right now. So 318.3. I'm going to divide this by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 30, 18, 3, 15, 3, and I can probably stop here because it is going to continue. I'm gonna put another 6. I'm gonna put 6. So let's go ahead and round to the 63.7. And I'm sorry I didn't give that back, but this is a dividing problem. All right, number 8. Which of the following fractions equivalent? Negative and negative is a positive. Negative and negative is a positive. So negative 6 plus 9 is 3 over 8. And that one is going to be testing your ability to be able to add and subtract numbers. Really, that's all it is, negative numbers. All right, this one is water runs from a pump at a rate of 1.5 gallons per minute. 1.5 gallons every minute. And we are going to do 150 gallons. 150 gallons. So I'm actually going to do the other way, but 150 gallons. So what would you do here, guys? Think about it a little bit. I have my notes here. I'm sorry, I'm going through my notes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab this. I'm going to divide by that one. Gallons. That way we have the minutes. So I'm going to move this to this side, and I'm going to add the 0. 15 divided by 15 is 1. Don't forget to add your 2 zeros. So it's 100 minutes. 100 minutes. Again, what did I do here? 150 G divided by 1.5. I'm going to move my decimal this way, and I'm going to move my, if I move the decimal this way, I am going to add a 0 here. It's 1500 divided by 15. So really it's 15 divided by 15, which is 1. Don't forget to add your 2 zeros. Okay. Number 10. The volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. We have the height, right, 30. This volume is 30. The height is 6. And we do not have the length or the width. But we know this is the area. I'm kind of doing 6 times the area. So I'm going to divide this by 6, divide this by 6. It's 5 is equals to your length times width, which is your area. And that is what they want. What is the area of the base of the prism? So the answer is 5. Okay, number 11. Jacoby followed a recipe that requires 2 cups of water. W for every 3 cups of flour. If you use 8 cups of flour, how many cups of water did you use? So we're looking for water. We're going to do cross multiplication here. Be 16 divided by 3. And this is what I like to do here, guys. 3 times what gives you 16? Well, the closest one is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. We have 1 left over 3, which is letter C. Okay, very good. Next one, 4x plus 5 plus 4x plus 8. 4x plus 20. Use the distributive property. This is 8x plus 28. And you have 8x plus 28, which is that one. This one's 8x plus 32. This one's 5x, and this one's 8x plus 13. That one's out. This one's out because of 32. So, number 13. Number 13. It took Callan 90 minutes to complete 40 tasks. This one's a little bit weird. Which one is equivalent? So 90 over 40. Which of the following is equivalent to the rate? This is what I like to do here, guys. This is minutes and this is tasks. So if you notice, all of your tasks are the same. So I'm going to put the 10 in the bottom. It'll be 9 times 10, that's 900 divided by 4. And then this is just a simple dividing. I'm going to take off a 0 so we can do 90 divided by 4. Oh, that's it. Sorry, there's a 0 there. I'm going to take off a 0 there, so it's just 90 divided by 4. Anyways, 2, 8, that's 10. I mean, 4 is going to 10, that's 2. That's 8. We have 2 left. And it's 22.5, which is going to be okay. I didn't have a lot of space there, but hopefully you understood how to do this part. All right, number 14. This is a little bit logical here. It says we have a table here. These are your Q's. These are your P's. So it says the table above shows. So just remember that for probability, we want the probability of both over the probability of P. So the probability of both is 8 over your overall, which is 20. So the probability of both over 20, because that's the probability of P. So then each voter has whether they planned yes or no. If the voter plans to vote yes on P, vote yes on Q. So this is yes on Q, yes on P, and it's going to be over the probability of P, the first one. So it'll be 8 over 20, which is going to be 0.4. And we can do the math here, but it's 8 divided by 2, 4. Don't forget to move a decimal because of that 0, which is going to be letter C. Which is volume is equivalent to 5 to the negative 3. Whenever you have a negative, you're going to bring it to the bottom. You're going to add it to the bottom. And since there's nothing left on top, we have a 1. So then this is 1 over 5 times 5 times 5, which is 1 over 125. It would be. Which of the following expressions is equivalent? Will power rules add, right? So there's XA times XB is equals to XA plus B. So that's what we're gonna do in the first section here. I'm gonna focus this right now. You have a 3 and you have a 2, so it'd be X3 3 plus 2, which is x5. And then you have your power to a power, you multiply the powers. Power to a power, you multiply the powers, which is going to be 25. Again, power to a power, 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 multiply the powers. This one is adding, this is multiplying. So a times xb, you're going to add the powers. Multiply the powers, add the powers. You're multiplying, you add them. It's a power to a power, you multiply them. So that's going to be that one. Number 17 says there's a summit, there's a mountain, like a mountain. It's 4418 on top, and they started at 2550. So from here to here, we're going to subtract. I know it says 1 foot is 0.3 meters, but you can also say that 3 feet is approximately 1 meter. Just keep that in mind because it's 0.3. It's just easier to understand like that, but we can use 0.3 feet. Meters is 1 foot. And then you have 8, and then you have 6, and then you have 8, and then you have 1. 1868. And you're actually going to be dividing by the 0.3. Dividing by the 0.3. So whenever you have that 0.3, guys, add another 0. This is an approximation, by the way. And instead of 0.3, just do 3. That way you're not working with decimals. So this is 6. And then we can eliminate pretty much all of them. It's an approximation. We can finish it off, which is 18. And then you have 2. And then you have 8. But since I just use a 0.3, that's where I don't want to have to use all these other numbers. Remember, it's approximating. So about 6,200 because I approximated 0.3 instead of 0.3048. Okay. Anyways, number 18 says the two lines intersect. Now, this is the important part right here. X equals 3, so I can get rid of x and put 3. So 3 times x is 3 times 3. And then I can find the y. So 9. So it's 15 minus 9, which is 6. And then divide, which is going to be the -3. So right here where it says x, it says x equals 3. So get rid of it and put 3 instead. So 3 times 3 is 9, minus 2y equals 15 minus 9 because I moved the 9 over. And that's 6 divided by -2, which is -3. All right, number 19. Things that you need to remember. Union is all together. This is how I remember it. Union, you're putting everything together. Intersection, you're picking out the same ones because that's where they intersect. So again, union is all together and intersection is picking out the same ones. So this is in parentheses, we're going to do the intersection first. And the intersection of M and N is 10. and 20. And that's it. 10 and 20. And then you're going to add all these other ones. If they intersect, if they are the same, then you just put it once. That's 0, 10, 20, 40, 80, and 100. And that's it. The union between L and this is M and N is pretty much all of these plus the 10 that we had over here. We're not going to put 20 twice. So only put in it once. So then your answer is B. All right, I'm gonna do the last one because I messed up the other video, but I'm gonna add this little part. And there's a triangle PQR is in the XY plane. We have Q, which is 2, negative 3 here. And zoom in here. You can see it better. It is rotated 180 clockwise. So 180 is 2 of the 90s. So keep that in mind. So it's going to end up here, and then it's going to end up here. I'm just doing 1 point, just so that you can focus on that Q that they're asking for. So then it says, once it ends up here, it says reflected across the y-axis. This is your y-axis, so then your point is over here. So once you have this one, focus on the x and the y. The x is positive, the y is positive. The only answer that has positive and positive is the last one, which is D. And that's pretty much for that one. That's the best way to do that one. Just focus on that point, rotate it, and flip it. So the answer is going to be D.